Selamat sore.
Selamat sore.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah. And again, thank you for your time and effort to come all the way to here and sharing your episodes and experience with us. Actually, slightly in line with what we just discussed during that previous session, I'd like to ask you some perspectives in the era of the new leadership in Indonesia, focusing on some business landscape. And other than the three areas Kim just mentioned, the electric vehicles, infra and defense, do you think what will be some promising sectors Korean companies can tap into Indonesia?
Yeah, this is not easy because if we know which one is promising, people will go there. But what we can start from what the Indonesian need.
Okay.
Yeah, other than you're already aware in power already we've been there. But food is the issue in Indonesia. Food. Yeah. You see, agriculture. Indonesian actually is still agriculture. But if you see, I would say there's no much improvement in technology in agriculture. We claim a long time ago we self-sustainable on our food. And then when President Jokowi 10 years ago make also a kind of a target to be self-sufficient, less import. But for today, we are the largest importer rice in the world. This is ironic.
Yes.
So, no matter what, food is an issue. Recently, I met also some Korean investors who are interested in agriculture. What they're interested in is they have dalgi. Strawberry. Strawberry, Korean strawberry is popular in Indonesia. And then the market is huge. So they want to bring, Korean dalgi to Indonesia. You see? It is interesting. And then the market is huge. This is just an example. And how Korean here you can produce rice, of course with some subsidy, and then how you can see farmers, their welfare is good. But in Indonesia there might be some issue. So probably government will be interested if foreign investment can cooperate with the local, because this area also some restriction.
Yes.
But the previous government talked about food estate. I don't know, I could not conclude what would the result.
Okay.
But that area probably will attract the government attention if you willing to focus on that, because that issue has been failed. I mean, they could not resolve, and they really need it. If someone can introduce and we cooperate together, I think government would help in some policy for that one.
Your story actually just reminded me of some startups, Indonesian startups in the field of agriculture or aqua.
Yes.
Because, to be honest with you, I also see some kind of room for improvement in Indonesia, the first industry, right?
Yes.
The agriculture and the forestry and the aqua field. So some startups in that field, they also try to import technology, like IoT technology, to their business, and so that they can increase the productivity of the agricultural production, aqua production, right? So because it has been not so good so far. So before the pandemic, around 2018, 19, 20, what I was told that they got huge investment from VCs or some CVCs, but unfortunately, none of them are so successful because at first they may drew some attention from VCs or other investors, but they are basically not C2C, like it's a kind of B2B, and so their public awareness is not so high.
Yes.
So as time went by, they kind of had a hard time to get more investment, and at the same time, they don't really produce good result. So unfortunately, not so successful so far.
Yeah, we have to look at what was the factors that of the failure factors. But in addition to that one, there is an area which has not been actually explored much, the coastal economics.
Mm-hmm. Coastal economics,
which is, just give a very simple illustration, for example. There are many fisher workers from Indonesia working now for Korean fishermen.
Sure.
They pay 10 times higher than Indonesian worker. The same industry, the same product. How could Korean pay 10 times Indonesian workers? Just a fisherman here, while we have a lot of, fish and sea, but that area is the most poor community. But that's an issue. I mean, of course, this is not social work. Business, we look at business, but I think there is some business that have to be developed, and then the government should be focusing and help with kind of policy.
Yes, just I think for that field, for that area, we need some initiative should be taken first between the two countries, the government first, like Korean government, Indonesian government, they make a kind of deal or whatever contract. Then the private sectors, the business, they make a step to that area.
Yeah, probably maybe ODA, ODA project. You can start with that one to initiate and cooperate with the government. That this initiative will later open the door for business.
Yes.
I think that would. I think the government know how to open the door by making this kind of ODA, and then through that project, other businesses will come to grab some potential. Yes.
And my second question, actually, as you see, I brought some questions, but fortunately or unfortunately, the second session I think covered pretty much of my questions already. So I'd better I wanted to share some my own experience in doing business in Indonesia, and also want to exchange some ideas with you on that. And actually, you talked about the importance of a second opinion, right? While the Korean business want to make an entry into Indonesian market, and actually I couldn't agree you more because I have experienced the importance of the second opinion too many times over the years. For example, even myself, including myself, when I first met the Indonesian partners, the face-to-face, we start with some small talks, and the atmosphere in general goes quite smoothly. And I brought up some business issues, and they usually said, "Oh, okay," and Indonesian language, boleh, bisa, right? And so that means
gampang,
gampang, and mungkin, but sometimes some more like fancy word. And well, at first I thought, wow, that must be a very positive signal. So he or she deliver me the good message, positive message. But later as time went by, nothing really, nothing really happened. So I step by step I came to realize that this is not really the positive signal to business. Maybe this has been the way Indonesians communicate with not only to foreigners but among themselves. It's like that, and it has been like that over the 100 years. So later I sometimes communicate with my Korean partners that when Indonesian partners talk about like bisa, boleh, that kind of word, they may say because they want to say with your face, or because they are so used to communicating like that. So don't put kind of rely on that too much. The business take time, and they also have to see the possibility of the whether this will make a success or not. So Yeah, I want also let the Korean business thinking about tapping into Indonesian market about this. Yeah.
Yes. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Because I haven't experienced a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I see all those these ones because the Korean also are sometimes stubborn. I would say because of course it's naturally we sometimes we don't want to listen because we see, oh, I see something like. But what is the point of a second opinion? Is actually not to prevent, not to stop you to do business, but to give you time to reconsider. Right? It's because I started. I work in Indonesia with Korean company in 2009. 2001, I started working with Korean here in Seoul. 2007.
Yeah.
2007, I worked here, and then I was dispatched to Madagascar. I work in Madagascar also too, and then I come back to Jakarta and work there too. Here is the thing: if you find a good partner and also the good manpower, you can be very efficient.
Sure.
I give an example, just an illustration. The previous company invested $100 million without sending Korean. Can you believe it? Without sending Korean, they can say, when you send one Korean, it's 10,000 a month, US dollar.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? I was in charge for that one. From the very scratch, find the company, find the starting this one. They only come 2 months just for dinner, and then what's happened, and here, so here. Because we can do, because we trust each other. Mm-hmm. Then how efficient it is. So that's why I'm saying that if you find a good partner, economics is more efficient, and then you can do smoothly. But also there are many cases when we say, oh, that's not going to work, but insist. So of course, second opinion is not always absolute to be needed, but you need to consider. As I'm saying, this is the function of us as a professional. We can help you. For my case, for example, I'm from legal, I can give a few. From political also, from economic. Because before I worked to law firm, I work as a general manager in business. I do also business investment and such and such. So that kind of sense, not just from legal, I can talk about. Sure. Then something like that.
I mean, what I want to talk about now is not only that applicable to business relations between Korea and Indonesia, but in general.
Yeah.
I mean, my experience sometimes that Korean businessmen in general, they tend to be greedy, even at first. I mean, sometimes they are almost rich, like ink a deal, make a deal, make contract, but they ask too much at first. So that makes the Indonesian partners hesitate to sign a contract. So then everything is just scrapped. Nothing will happen. So I want actually tell the Korean businessmen in general, say, please start small. You can't make a big fortune at first try. So step by step. It's like in Indonesia, in the Java language, right? You start small and build trust, then later it will be all paid off, right?
Yes. Of course, it's case by case. I couldn't say all Korean do that. I mean, not many, but there are some they might do. Mm. But the things you point out is very important, starting with small. Mm. You escalate the relationship as you have a long term. Yeah. Because at the very first, we all see it's green. How do I want to carry it? Yeah. Because someone's thirsty to have that one. But there are always dangers when you do that. So that's why I'm saying that, of course, it's case by case, but it's also it's good advice to suggest to anyone who invests. Then start from small and then escalate. Because generally that's how we work. Because you don't know. It's not the other party is bad, but also they don't know. Sometimes we don't assume that, they know because they're Indonesian, they know things. For example, because they're Indonesian, they know the law. No, they don't know the law. So sometime later, after they also got trouble. Oh, what happened? They also don't know. So sometimes we assume something.
Yes.
We assume this should be the Indonesian side, they should know. They might not know. that's going to be a trouble. Yeah.
And another reason I think to have the reliable business partner in Indonesia is, I mean, for example, the halal certification.
Yes.
If the Korean business or companies, they to try to the halal certificate, so halal things, it will take long time and cost a lot, and wow, it's so complicated. But if the partner can do that on behalf of the Korean partners, it will make time, it will save time,
Yes.
energy, money, right? So there's another reason we need very reliable the local partners.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, but a good thing is now because the halal certificate is now only one dominating by previously only one
yeah,
way.
yes.
Now we have many channels,
Yeah.
and even in Korea you can do it.
Yeah.
So there has been some development on that area that which shortened the period of application for halal. Yes, but that also at one point you mentioned is good. Yeah.
And from your, I mean, the years of experience with dealing with the Korean business and Korean companies, can you probably give us some like couple of do's or don't do this or don't do this, things like that, especially in the point of kind of some cultures or religious consideration.
Yeah. The first rule is that there is international etiquette, meaning that you do business internationally. If you already have done with other country, basically the same. We have to respect anyone. This is the value, and then we have to be cautious not to be Korean-centric. Because we assumed how we approach people because we are excited. Oh, we're supposed to do this. Is just expressing my closeness, but that could be the opposite result, right? Because there is a mental fixation, meaning that we thought that we'll the same response, which is also a trouble. For Indonesian cases, I think because religion plays important role.
Sure.
So you have to pay attention for religious issue, which is some people are very cautious about that one. I think Indonesia also exposed to international practice, business. They can accept as long as you can do with the international practice, which is commonly done. That would be acceptable. But particularly related to religious issue, then you need to be cautious. For example, food. And then with a lady, also, the time of, for example, a prayer. Sometimes we are in the middle of meeting, suddenly they want to get a break. Then we might get mad.
Yeah.
What are they doing? This is important.
Yeah.
For them, religion is more important. Praying is more important than the business. So that's a very simple thing sometimes.
Yeah, simple
but trouble, right?
Yeah, I think should be respected.
Yeah, respected. And sometimes when the Korean side was not aware, then he already get mad, and then what is this? And then the mood has been changed, shifted. This is just one example. Of course, there are many other cases that you have to be aware of. Yeah.
One thing actually I learned from my experience is that let's say I make some meeting schedule with Indonesian partner 3 p.m. And then I try to be at the venue around 2 p.m. Because Indonesia, especially big cities in Jakarta, usually the traffic is not so good, right?
Yes.
So usually, there's a big traffic jam. So if I try to be there in 2 p.m., sometimes I make it 2 p.m. Then I just have some time to get with a cup of coffee. It's okay. But if I arrive there in the past 3 p.m., then it make the meeting, the first impression, uncomfortable. So I try to be there earlier possible.
Yes, that's good. That's a very good point. Yeah. It's not only for Indonesians, for everywhere. Everybody has.
And last but not least, I want please tell us your initiative, the Indonesia Korean Business Initiative, IKBI, because it sounds like quite important milestone to promote bilateral cooperation.
Yes. My personal vision is I want to work between Korea and Indonesia, and I'm lucky I already have a permanent residence. So in the sense that I already have a basis without any issue for the long term, and all my family as well too. And that's also one of the target why I'm come to Korea again, because I came here 2 times. 2004 until 2008, and then Madagascar for 1 year, and then come back to Indonesia, and then 2016 I came here, and then after a certain period of time working in Indonesia, it's been my passion. So I starting from the law firm Indonesian Korean Business Initiative, Indonesian Korean Business Center, but it's very limited because we belong to law firm, so people always assume this is about legal. So if there is no legal problem, they don't need it, right? Until they have a problem. But sometimes it's a waiting problem, and then they already enter into Indonesia. Of course, we can have some. So I met several people who are also have the same passion, and one of them, my colleague here in Korea, and then also Dr. Purba. I mentioned his name. He was a former congressman for 3 terms, and then we started communicating. I've been knowing him for quite a long time when Mr. Kim Jin-pyo visiting Indonesia in 2018, and then he became close friend to Mr. Kim Jin-pyo, and then from time to time they're meeting, and even tomorrow he's going to have another meeting with. So through this kind of connection, not only for that one, we also have many. We find out that kind of issue, how to mediate. Of course, there is an official channel between the government. You can ask to BKPM, but there is also some room where you need more like flexibility beyond that kind of government. So we are kind of supporting also that one. Of course, we respect the government have a role for that one, but private to private assistance also needed. We launched that kind of. So 4 of us make an agreement. Why don't we start the initiative? And we launched it in July this year.
July.
And we invite also the ambassadors from Indonesia and some also VIPs from Korea to launch it. And now we are starting connecting. Many people are now connecting, talking, asking, introducing this one. So, for example, last visit when the Prime Minister visited Jakarta, there was also round table talk in the embassy, which is also part of our initiative. So we initiated from the back because Dr. Purba and we invited High Provan, which is the chairman of the parliament too. And then there was also the chairman of the Indonesian Business Association. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Minister of Investment also investment. So there was a delegate we initiated. And I think Prime Minister was also happy to have that kind of initiative. And from Indonesian side, we tried to connect. And through this kind of initiative, how we connect. And then, who knows, like say in several areas, we can have like a Korean honorary council where we can also maybe help for to help Korean business in the region. Because if we see now, most of the Korean are concentrated in Java, right?
Yes.
Not in the region, but business actually also in the region. Of course, money is there, but actually the activities are done. So in the future, I guess we may encourage Korean to do investment in the local. Then if you go to the local in particular, you may need some help.
Sure.
So that kind of an honorary council where some Korean who really passionate, some Indonesian who really passionate to help with this one could be a good help. Yeah. And then, we just also at the beginning. Then hopefully we'll continue doing this one. So we are now have office in Korea, in Jakarta, Medan, and Surabaya. We are connecting this one. So we have our team now with that one. Very intense then. And thanks to Dr. Purba, who also have a very wide network, because she was in the national level for 15 years as a parliament. So it may help sometimes.
Yeah. So very meaningful step forward.
Yes. So of course we can cooperate together.
Sure. Last but not least, do you have anything to add to your speech? I mean, you have your own YouTube channel, right?
Yes, my own
promotes.
Yes, this is really it's an honor for me, and thank you, Ambassador Kim and Mr. Pang, and Mr. Kim Yong-sol, another Kim, who invited me this one. I think I'm really encouraged because this is one of my vision. How can I be an assistance to both countries, either Indonesian businessmen and Korean businessmen? So through, of course, this forum and through our law firm or through the initiative we can do, if anyone need, for example, some advice or assistance, we will be happy to help. I have my own channel, which is Indonesian Advocate in Korea. Advokat Indonesia in Korea. Di Korea. Advokat Indonesia di Korea. Advokat Indonesia di Korea.
Okay.
That was actually for educational purpose. I have some information there for Indonesian because it's in Indonesian. But sometimes also we do in Korean. I'm still working on my Korean. But my dream, I would one day have a YouTube in Korean. Working on that one. That is something I have to work on. But maybe you need to be patient to wait maybe another year to have this kind. If I could that, because I found out now I have a handicap in between, because my language is just intermediate level, not sufficient enough to convey ideas like this one. In English I'm a little bit confident, but in Korea I'm not. But anyway, thank you very much for inviting me and this opportunity.
Our pleasure, and thank you for coming all the way here. Your time and your kindness and the good expertise on your field.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So actually, I prepared the one question about the halal. They worried about the Bravo government because the Korean residents in Jakarta, their business is not only the big company but also very intimated areas like the restaurant, toko, massage shop, something like, and then most of them worried about the halal certification or halal discipline will be strengthened under the Bravo government compared with the nowadays or in the past. And then the certification process of halal discipline or regulation or not.
Well, I don't know why Korean have concern with that issue. Maybe some rumor. But think about this. Halal certification is a big business. So those who are now competing to get a client try to push it. Because in the past, only ulama MUI can issue it. Just, here is money is come and then it's a lot of money already.
Yeah.
But now so many people already have, some organization try to get a license to give a recommendation for halal certificate. And this is a big business.
Big business.
In that case, they will ask somebody, how is it? It is the interest of business, not Prabhu interest. Prabhu doesn't care about it, halal, because his family is, Catholic, Protestant, he's Muslim, he's not from all of this. It's not his interest. So it's a business issue. Maybe somebody make a rumor and then you will always care about it, something. Yeah. This is my view. I might be wrong, but I think if you see fact, then why Prabhu should be care about halal issue?
Policy was made already several years ago.
Several years ago.
With administration,
Administration.
implementation was just postponed.
Yeah,
Yes.
suspended
And,
2 years.
The Korea's halal certificate is recognized by Indonesia.
Yes, very cooperative.
Yes, yes.
With the mutual recognition.
Yes.
So if you get the halal certificate in
From
Korea, by
No issue.
the association here, Korea, then it will be recognized.
But you see how they do business. They give certificate yearly basis. Every year you extend money. Every year money.
Linear fee.
Little fee. Sure.
Very smart business.
Right? And then millions of businesses they need to do the one. But yeah, I'm not saying that it's not going to be, but of course we have to follow regulation. This is my suggestion, not because Prabowo, not because somebody, but we have to follow regulation if that's required, because it's not the idea of Prabowo, right? The halal certificate is not the idea of Prabowo. It's nothing to do with Prabowo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.